I'm going to talk about occurring patterns. So there's some 1016 millibars of pressure. So next 24 hours, 7 p.m. So 1020 millibars of pressure. So let's do 7 p.m. again. So 1012 millibars of pressure. And actually 1012 millibars of pressure. Next hours, 7 p.m. November 26th. So 1004 millibars of pressure. So I only track the pressure near Toronto, so next 24 hours, 7 p.m., 1004 millibars of pressure. Actually, Toronto is getting mixed, so it's gonna be 1006 millibars of pressure instead. So let's talk about the jet stream patterns. So it's gonna take a minute to set everything up. So let's zoom in, go to tropical tidbits, and go to US view or Canada, Southern Canada or US view even. Whatever you're showing. So start from 7 p.m. today. So still some positive PNE. It's in Toronto, like half of Southern Ontario, but another half is negative PNE. So like east of Southern Ontario is going to be positive, and west of Southern Ontario is going to be negative. So next 24 hours, 7 p.m. This negative PNE. So 7 p.m. there's some negative PNA. So next 24 hours there's some positive PNA. That's gonna be final hour after this possible. So you have to go all the way to 114. There's some positive PNAs. So let's talk about the upcoming pattern. So it's gonna take a minute to close everything off. So Kubuk or Kobuk. So it's gonna be 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So Peterborough, Barrie, Georginia, Beverly Hills, Orilla, Palm Beach, and the Beach, South Bay, Midland, Waitano, and some Port Elgin, Hanover, Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Falls, City 480, Uxbridge. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So next hour, 24 hours. 12 hours actually, there's nothing else. So 1 p.m. there's nothing else. So 7 a.m. there's something. You could do line side OB because it's close to the rainfall. So line side OB is going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Rest of southern Ontario sees nothing. So next hour, November something, November 25th. So Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, Niagara on the Lake, but London, those cities are going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including Long Point. So now we could do lighter precipitation. So we could clear it because there's nothing else, no cities left. So Mississauga, Brampton, down to Toronto, Richmond Hill, Scarborough, Markham. There's only Markham. So let's do Newmarket. So Newmarket, Orangeville, those cities are good. Port Erie, Niagara Falls City could get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall in those cities. So ignore Oakville. So Oakville is only 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. So next hour, so 7 p.m. So Scarborough, gonna start again. So Scarborough, Stouffville, downtown Toronto, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, Mississauga, Brampton. So Scarborough, just correcting the cities. So Brampton, Mississauga, Orangeville, not Oakville. So those cities are so Barrie, Beverly Hills, Virginia, not Cuba, Peterborough, Belleville. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including Hanover, London. So let's do light precipitation. So Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, Oakville, and I'm gonna count actually. Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Falls, City Point, Erie, Long Point, not Long Point, Green Spy. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So Quebec also 6.25 millimeters of rainfall in Quebec or Coburg. So We do the Byton. So let's do Byton, Owen Sound, Lions Head, OB, Palm Beach, Sunny Beach, Salt Bay, Midland, Orilla, Port Elgin. So those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So next 7 a.m. actually. So Cobourg, Peterborough, Belleville, Scarborough, Stouffville, down to Toronto, Richmond Hill, Newmarket, Mississauga, Brampton, Orangeville, London, Niagara-on-the-Lake, Niagara Falls City, by parts of Niagara-on-the-Lake, Niagara Falls City, Fort Erie, Long Point, Owen Sound, Palm Beach, Sunny Beach, Salt Lake Bay, Midland. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including Oshawa and Uxbridge. So next hour, even the show it's like 1003 millibars per pressure, it's not part of Toronto or close to. So I only say that pressure is closest to Toronto actually. So let's see, Jordanian, that's nothing actually. So Jordania gets nothing at this passing through 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So 1 p.m. So most of Southern Ontario, 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So London, Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, Scarborough, Stouffville, down to Toronto, Richmond Hill, Newmarket, Mississauga, Brampton, Orangeville, Oshawa, Uxbridge, ignore the lines if it's off. Cobourg, Peterborough, Belleville, Niagara-on-the-Lake, Niagara Falls City, Port Erie, so Hanover, Port Elgin, those Whitetown, Lionshead, Bay, Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay, Midland, Ordella, Barrie, Georginia, Beverly Isles, those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, so next hour, 7 p.m. So Scarborough, Stouffville, down to Toronto, Richmond Hill, Newmarket, Cobourg, Peterborough, a little bit off, Cobourg, Belleville, ignore Peterborough, Niagara-on-the-Lake, Niagara Falls City, Port Erie, Hanover, Port Elgin, even Port Elgin doesn't count, Whitetown, Winson, Lionshead, Bay, Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay, Midland. Those cities are gonna get some zero, Long Point. Those cities, except Long Point, is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rain. How about snowfall is in Long Point only? Parts of it. Let's see where it's Long Point on Google Maps. So, okay, Long Point is actually getting some snowfall, 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So, Peterborough is gonna get some. Not gonna talk about that. So, if I said to 0.25 millimeters of rainfall to Peterborough, ignore it. So 7 a.m. So, Lionshead, Bay, Briarton, Collingwood, Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay, Midland, Orilla, Fort Erie, doesn't count, Long Point. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So Hanover is gonna get some 2.5 millimeters of snowfall. So there's nothing else. So let's do 1 p.m. if it's possible. Might skip multiple cities. So let's say go slowly, double check. So Whiteton, Owen Sound, Lionshead, OB, Collingwood, Barrie, Georginia, Beverly Isles, Peterborough doesn't count actually. Hanover, Port Elgin, those cities are gonna get some zero. Gonna skip Port Elgin. Those cities except Port Elgin is gonna get some. Mississauga, Brampton, Delta Toronto, Scarborough, whatever. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall, including Long Point. So Oakville, Burlington, Hamilton is 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. Uxbridge also could be. No, Uxbridge doesn't count. Stouffville doesn't count actually. So Newmarket, Orangeville is gonna be 0.25 millimeters of snowfall, a bit off. Orangeville is actually 0.25 millimeters of snowfall, but Newmarket doesn't count. So next hour, 24, actually 7 p.m. So Scarborough, Stouffville, down to Toronto, Richmond Hill, Newmarket, Mississauga, Brampton, Oakville, Hamilton, Burlington, Niagara-on-the-Lake, Long Point, London, Whiteton, Owen Sound, Collingwood, Midland, Lionshead, OB, Oshawa, Uxbridge, Niagara on the Lake. I already did twice. So Newmarket, Orange was inside it. So Barrie, Georginia, Beverly Isles. Those is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So Orilla is also 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. Cobourg, no, Peterborough is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So Hanover is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfalls. Okay, let's do the actual city. So Bombay's on the beach, on the bay is gonna be 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So next hour, let's see if it's actually no, that's outside. So total precipitation once every 12 hours. Skip today's, I do 2 days later on. So 8 p.m. there should be nothing. Let's do 8 p.m. November 25th. So Brampton 6 millimeters. We're gonna start on White Town. So White Town 1, 2, Collingwood, London 10, 10, Hamilton 10, Burlington, down to Toronto 7, 6 is Brampton, 9 is 905. 5 is Tofu, Scarborough 6, Oshawa 5, 5 Peterborough, 4 is Newmarket, Uxbridge 4, Orangeville 4, 8 is Belleville, Cobourg, 5 is Belleville, Niagara on the Lakes 10, 12 is Niagara Falls City. What area is going to be? It's going to be, could be 12 millimeters. So this is millimeters of rainfall per actually precipitation per 12 hours. So let's do the harder cities. So could clear this. No, it can't. So let's do Owen Sound. So Owen Sound is going to be 2.4 millimeters. No, it's going to be 1.7 millimeters of rainfall. That's mean average. So Bomb Beach is going to be 1.2 millimeters of rainfalls in Bomb Beach. Let's see actually. It is 1.2. So Salt Lake Bay and Thunder Beach is the same precipitation amount. But Salt Lake Bay is lighter than Thunder Beach. So let's do Thunder Beach first. So Thunder Beach is actually going to get some 1 millimeters of rainfall. Same thing in Salt Lake Bay actually. So whole bay is going to be 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. That's mean average. So Lion said it's going to be 0.2 millimeters of rainfall. So Orilla is going to be 1.7. Georginia is 5. 4 actually. 4 actually. So Beverly Isles 5. Berry is going to be 2.5. Actually, it's going to be 4 millimeters of rainfall. So let's go to next hour. 8 p.m. November 26th. So Whitetown 3, Collingwood 3, Whitetown 4, London 1, 2 is Brampton, down to Toronto, 1 is Uxbridge, Oshawa, no, Snowfall, down to Toronto 2, Oshawa 2, Peterborough 2, Cobourg 2, Belleville 2, everywhere Niagara Falls 1. So let's do Scarborough. So Scarborough is going to be 2 higher than 2, so it's going to be 2.5 close. It's going to be 2.3 actually. So Mrs. Zagat. So Hamilton, Oakville, Belleville, no Belleville. Burlington is going to be 0.1 millimeters of rainfall. So Green Spy doesn't count. Green Spy counts actually. So 1 millimeters of rainfall on Green Spy. So Newmarket is going to Newmarket, Orangeville, Stouffville's done. So it's going to be 1 millimeters of rainfall. Even though 0.7 is still going to be 1 millimeters of rainfall because close to. So let's do Bomb Beach. So let's do actually Thunder Beach and Salt Lake Bay first. So Salt Lake Bay is 2 millimeters of rainfall close to, and 2 millimeters of rainfall is in Thunder Beach close to, and Bomb Beach 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. So Wildline said, oh, it's going to be 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. So let's go to next hour if it's possible. I might skip multiple cities. So Orilla is going to be 4. Georginia is 2.5. Beverly Hills is actually going to be 2, but it's actually going to be 1.7. It's not 1.7. So Beverly, I'm going to skip that. So Barry is going to be going to be 1.7 millimeters of rainfall. So Beverly Hills actually is going to be 1.2 millimeters of rainfall. That's mean average. So next 24 hours and PM, this could be a final day. So most weather, no, I'm not gonna say that. So London 2, 3 is Whitehorn, 2 is in Collingwood. So 3 is in Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville is something else. So Oakville is 3 millimeters, close to 3 millimeters of rain. So Oakville is actually is gonna be 1.7 millimeters of rainfall, the mean average. So Mississauga, Brampton, down to Toronto, no down to Toronto, Richmond Hill, Stouffville is going to be mostly like Newmarket, Orange Hill, Stouffville. It's going to be 0.7 millimeters of rainfall on mean and average, but so down to Toronto is 1 millimeters of rainfall. Mississauga 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. So Brampton. So Oshawa, Uxbridge. No, Oshawa, Uxbridge is 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. So Cobourg, Peterborough is going to be Cobourg is going to be I said Cobourg is going to be 0.7 millimeters of rainfall close there actually. So Peterborough 0.7, Belleville sees nothing, Niagara on the Lake is 0.7. Actually 0.2 to 0.7 to 2.5 millimeters of. So if we are in Niagara on the Lake, more north you go, the heavier precipitation is, but the lightest precipitation is 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. So Owen Sound is gonna be no, it's gonna be 4 millimeters of rainfall. It's close to the, so it's a 4. So let's do Lions Head Hope Bay. So Lions Head Hope Bay is going to be 2 millimeters of rainfall. It could be 2. Give me 2 or 1.7. So this is 2 millimeters of rainfall, so it's closest. So let's choose Palm Beach on the beach. So Palm Beach is actually 5 millimeters of rainfall on the beach. Salt Lake Bay is 4 millimeters of rainfall. Palm Beach is going to be gonna skip that. So Orla 5 millimeters of rainfall. Barrie is gonna be 2 point. It's gonna be 2 millimeters of rainfall and some berries. So Georginia is gonna be 2.5. That's the mean average. Beverly Hills is gonna be it's going to be 1 millimeters of rainfall. It's a Beverly Isles, but it could be 1.2. On average, it's 0.7 millimeters of rainfall, but it's 1 millimeters of rainfall because of this some close to like 1.2 millimeters of rainfall. So next hour, this is not next hour. So winter precipitation. It's gonna take a while how long the video is. So let's go backwards. Suddenly the refresh. So let's go to the 90th hour. So wire ton 0.7, 0.2 is in Sound Collingwood, 0.1, long point 0.2. But long point is, let's see where's long point on Google Maps, takes a minute. So long point is actually is gonna get some 0.7 millimeters of rain. But the mean average is actually 1.35 millimeters of snowfall, centimeters of snowfall. So the actual precipitation is going to be 1.35 centimeters of snowfall. So Port Elgin's 1.2. Actually, it could be 1.3. So Hanover is 0.2. So it's nothing else. So for areas is nothing. So 114 hours. So London is 4.2, Brampton 0.4, 0.5 Stouffville, 1.1 centimeters in down to Toronto. Scarborough is going to be between those numbers. So it's going to be 0 point something. So 0.7 centimeters of snowfall in Scarborough. Newmarket 0.5, Orangeville 0.5, Stouffville 0.7. Well, it's 0.5 actually. 0.5 using Cobourg. Belleville is 0.2 millimeters of centimeters of snowfall. Peterborough is 1.4, Oshawa 1.2, 2.7 in Uxbridge, 3.5 is in Collingwood, 1.7 is in Whitetown. 0.7 is actually could be 1.7, but it's gonna be 1.3 the mean average, so it's actually 1.7. When it's a mean average, it's going to show up in like bottom left corners of the image. So lines hit whole bay is going to be 1.7 centimeters of snowfall, but actually mean average is 1.3. So 1.3. So let's do lines hit over bay. Lines hit over is done actually. So bomb. I'm gonna skip that. So Orlilla is going to get some. The Orlilla is actually going to get some 2 points. Gonna be higher than 2 points. So it's gonna be between 5 to 6 centimeters of snowfall. So it's gonna be 5.5 centimeters of snowfall between those. Those 5.5 centimeters of snowfalls in Orla Berry is going to be 6.2, but it's gonna be lighter. So it's gonna be 5.7 centimeter. Actually, 5 centimeters of snowfalls in Berry. Georginia, gonna skip that. So Beverly Isles is going to be. So it's gonna use ChatGPT for the middle numbers. So it's gonna take a while. So it's gonna be 7.5 centimeters of snowfalls in Georginia. So Hamilton, Burlington is gonna be 2.59 centimeters of snowfall. So 1.4 is in Oakville. Niagara Falls it is 0.5. Niagara on Lake is something blocked. So for Erie, it's gonna see some 0.2 centimeters of snowfall. It sees nothing. It's actually 0.2. So Niagara on the Lake is 1.7 centimeters of snowfall. So let's look at the temperature pattern. So it's gonna take a minute. So 3 p.m. is done. So it's gonna go to 7 a.m. So London -2, -1 in Collingwood, +1 is in Wyerton, Newmarket, Uxbridge -3, Brampton -1, -2 is in Stouffville, +1 is in down to Toronto, Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville 2 degrees, Niagara on the Lakes 2 degrees, Niagara Falls is 1 degrees, 1 degree in Oshawa, +1 is in no, it's gonna be Coburg. Peterborough is -2, -1 Belleville. So Orange Falls -2. So against my +2. So next. So Lions Head Obey is going 1 degrees. White and the winds has done so. Palm Beach and the beach is going to be 4 degrees, 5 degrees. 5 degrees, Solid Bay is going to be 5 degrees. Midland is going to be -1. Orella is going to be -1. Barely is going to be -1 or -2. -1 is in Barely. Georginia is going to be just gonna skip that. So Beverly Isles actually -2. Georginia is going to be +1. So let's do next hour. 3 p.m. So Lions is gonna skip. Actually, you could do Lions Head. So Lions Head is gonna be 7 degrees. Hope's Bay is 8 degrees. Palm Beach is actually 7 degrees. 7 degrees is in also 8 degrees is actually isn't on the beach, Solid Bay. Let's do Palm Beach again. Palm Beach is gonna be 7 degrees. Orlella is going to be 6 degrees. Georginia is going to be 6 degrees. Beverly ISO 7, Berry is 7. So let's now we can do lines. So it's done all it is. It is so London is 8 degrees, Brampton 8 degrees, Stouffville 6 degrees, downtown Toronto 7 degrees, Newmarket 6 degrees, Orangeville 7 degrees, Uxbridge. So Brampton. So Mississauga is 7 degrees, 6 degrees, 6 degrees. No, it doesn't count. So Hamilton's 8 degrees, 8 degrees, 7 degrees is in Niagara Falls City. Niagara on the Lake is 8 degrees. Uxbridge, Oshawa, Peterborough, Quebec, 5 degrees. Belleville, 4 degrees. Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville is going to be 8 degrees. London, 8 degrees. Whitetown, 8 degrees. Collingwood, 7 degrees. Owen Sound, the one used the camera, is going to be 8 degrees. So, next hour, 8 a.m. So, Lions Head or Bay is going to be same temperatures. Let's see, it's going to be same temperatures, but it's going 4 degrees in those cities. So, Palm Beach, Salt Lake Bay is going to be 3 degrees. Salt Lake, no, Thunder Beach is 7 degrees, 6 degrees actually. So Orlando is going to be 3 degrees. Georgina, gonna skip that. So Beverly Hills is 3 degrees. 3 degrees is in Barrie. So now we could do Georgina. So Georgina is going to be 3 degrees. 6 degrees in London. Newmarket is 3 degrees. Toffel 3 degrees. Down Toronto is 6 degrees. Brampton 4 degrees. Scarborough doesn't count. Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville is 5 degrees. 5 degrees is in Niagara on the Lake. Niagara Falls City is 6 degrees. Uxbridge 2 degrees. Peterborough 2 degrees. Quebec 5 degrees. 3 degrees in Belleville. Winds by 6 degrees. Whiteton 3 degrees. 4 degrees in Collingwood. Let's go to next hour, 3 p.m. So wire, no, I'm gonna do that. So Lions Head Hope is same temperature 7 degrees. Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Beach, 7 degrees. Orilla, 6 degrees, 7 degrees. 7 degrees in Orilla, 6 degrees in Barrie. Georgina is going to be 6 degrees. Beverly Hills is actually 6 degrees, so we are done from that. Harder cities, so London, 8 degrees. 7 degrees in Hamilton, 6 degrees in Brampton, 7 degrees in Downtown Toronto. 5 degrees in Stouffville. Scarborough is 6 degrees. Newmarket, Orangeville, Uxbridge, it's going to be 5 degrees. Oshawa, Quebec, Peterborough is 6 degrees. Belleville is 7 degrees everywhere. Niagara Falls is 8 degrees. Whitetown is 7 degrees. 6 degrees in Collingwood. Oakville, Burlington. So sometimes like Oakville goes to downtown Toronto temperature similar. So sometimes similar to Hamilton. So but like yeah. But Hamilton and Burlington always had the same temperatures, so because it's closest. So let's go to the next hour, 7 a.m. So Lions Head or Bay is going to be 6 degrees. Palm Beach, Thunder Beach is 7 degrees. Salt Lake Bay is 6 degrees. Midland is 6 degrees. Orella 6 degrees. 6 degrees. 6 degrees. Barrie 6 degrees. Georgina 6 degrees. Beverly Hills 6 degrees. Beverly Hills, Georgina is actually 7 degrees. So Whiteton 6, 7 degrees in Collingwood, 8 degrees in London, Brampton 7 degrees in Newmarket, Orangeville, Stouffville, Uxbridge, Peterborough, Oshawa. Those cities are 7 degrees. Down to Toronto, Quebec, Belleville's 8 degrees. Everywhere in Niagara Falls is 9 degrees. Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville 9 degrees. Queens Bay 9 degrees. So something. So let's go to the next hour, 3 p.m. So line said, oh, bay it's gonna be 6 degrees, 5 degrees. So it's actually could be 5 degrees. Actually, 5 degrees is possible. Line said, oh, bay. Palm Beach, so Thunder Beach, no Palm Beach. It's gonna be 7 degrees. Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay, 7 degrees. London, 5 degrees. 8 degrees in Newmarket, Uxbridge. 10 degrees in Belleville. Everywhere in Toronto is 9 degrees. Hamilton, Burlington is 8 degrees. Oakville is 8 degrees also. 9 degrees in Peterborough, Quebec, Oshawa. Niagara on the Lake is 8 degrees. 7 degrees in Niagara Falls City. So Whitetown is 5 degrees. Collingwood is 7 degrees. So let's go to next hour. So 8 a.m., 7 a.m. actually. So Lions Head or Bay is going to be 1 degrees. So let's do Palm Beach. So Palm Beach is actually 2 degrees. 3 degrees in Thunder Beach. Salt Lake Bay is actually 2 degrees. Orella is going to be 1 degrees. Georginia is going to be 2 degrees. Beverly Hills is 1 degrees. 1 degrees in Barrie. So we are done for the hardest city. So let's do London. London's -1. 0 is an orange hole. Uxbridge, Peterborough, Snowfall, Niagara Falls City. So let's do the positive temperatures. Above freezing temperatures actually. So Hamilton, Brampton, down to Toronto, Scarborough, Mississauga, Hamilton, Burlington. It's gonna be like 1 degrees. So Cobourg, Belleville, it's gonna be 2 degrees. Niagara on the Lake is 1 degrees. Queens Park is 2 degrees. Oshawa is 1 degrees. So Oakville is going to be 1 degrees. Oakville, I say actually 2 degrees. It could be 2 degrees also. So Watertown, Collingwood is 1 degrees. So let's see if we complete everything done. So let's do next 3 p.m. actually. 7 a.m. is far off. So let's go back to 1 p.m. again. 4 p.m. actually. So if we go, so London, Hamilton, Brampton, Stouffville, Oshawa, Peterborough, Newmarket, Orangeville also counts. Niagara Falls City, those cities are going to be 1 degrees. So downtown Toronto, Hamilton, not Hamilton, Cobourg, Belleville, it's going to be 2 degrees. Niagara on the Lake, Gwinsby is 2 degrees. Oakville is 1 degrees. Give me 2 degrees actually in Oakville. Burlington's 1 degrees. So Lions Head or Bay is 0 degrees. 1 degrees in Palm Beach. Thunder Beach is going to be 2 degrees. Same thing in Salt Lake Bay. Actually, Salt Lake Bay is going to be closer to 1 degree. Actually, 2 degrees is possible in Salt Lake Bay. So Rook's Beach is 0 degrees. So let's see anything missing. There's nothing in it. So Watertown and Collingwood is -1. Port Elgin don't use it. Port Elgin and Honeyman skipped. Let's see if anything beyond this. So it's over the limit. So this is the end of the video.